All right, guys, we're back at Strong Principles,
Welcome to another episode.
and I'm Rob Dela Cruz.
I'm Larry Medina.
And I'm Zach Bragg.
All right, today I think we're going to talk about AI, right? AI versus a trainer.
Yeah, a coach trainer on programming and like all things AI, basically when it comes to like in the fitness industry. On there, I've been using it quite a bit.
Yeah, and that's surprising, right? Like you would think that maybe that's not something that a coach should use or would use, but maybe I'll let you talk to the benefits of that.
Yeah, so I started getting into it a while ago. When I first did it, it was a couple iterations ago, like chat, whatever, one or two, and it was not very good. And a lot of stuff was making mistakes. But the most recent ones, it's been a lot better. And for me, what it is like for programming, strength, or even in endurance work, like cardio and conditioning, is that it's a big reference. So before, when I would program, especially like when I'm doing certain training phases, when we write them up, I'm like references from like books and stuff just to make sure, like not just off of memory, but hey, this is the stimulus that I really want to hit. And I'm making sure I'm within like certain parameters. But what it does is now it's like having everything right in front of me.
Now, has it surprised you in any way, shape, or form of it, like being wrong?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the beginning, more so.
Yeah, I think still now. So I'll get into it. I fed it 2 years worth of our programming, everything we did, things we say about it, personality wise, everything. And so it knows me really. The more it knows you, the better it is. It kind of, I'll tell you one thing. This is going to surprise, and I don't know if I told you. So I went ahead and I fed it 4 weeks of our programming. Told it I wrote 2 weeks, and my other two coaches wrote 2 weeks. Now, remember, when we write programming, it goes through certain hands and eyes. So if I write it, when he takes a look at it, we correct things that I might have missed or whatever, and then that's what it goes. It would say Zach writes it, I take a look at it, Wendy takes a look at it, and then we kind of correct things. We don't change the bulk of it, but we'll still like navigate, because everyone kind of like forgets when you're doing it. Programming should be written in pencil, not in pen, because you want to change things and you don't want to be so rigid about it. I asked it, can you pick out what workouts I did and what the other coaches? If it got it, boom.
Really?
Yes. And then I had it do another training phase. It picked it out again, boom.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So now that being said, I've done hundreds of workouts with it and asked it to write hundreds of workouts or to go ahead and progress a phase or something I'm doing. I never used one of its workouts.
You never use one?
Nope.
How come?
They're not good. Now, it's given me ideas to possibly change mine, right?
Yeah.
But it was never good enough. And I like sometimes when I wrote it, I'm like, did you pay attention to like what I'm doing? Okay, I'll read it. Like, yeah, it's not that good. It's great. So you cannot have it dictate you dictate it.
Have you used it, Zach?
I have. I've used it mainly for like conditioning stuff, but with me, mostly personal training. What it doesn't recognize, and I think like when Rob posed the question, is AI better than a coach? There's certain nuances of dealing with people that it doesn't recognize. So it's going to give you a pretty simple, basic program, especially for strength work, that you'd need to change a lot of things. And especially because you get a person who comes in, maybe they slept bad the day before, maybe they were really busy with their kids the day before. There's certain things that may affect them for that workout.
Drink.
Yeah. Maybe it's coming off the weekend, whatever it is, that you have to communicate with the client on. And then, like Rob said, all good programs are written in pencil. So in that moment, you might have to change things. So it's a good reference tool. If we're working on a certain phase, and I think we'll do another episode talking about like intensification, but if we're working on a certain phase, it's a good reference tool to kind of give me some ideas for that phase, and then you end up changing a lot. So it doesn't even look like the same workout, maybe a couple of the same movements, but it's close, but it's not there yet. I don't think. I think it's still got some time to go. It's maybe not even close. It needs some time.
Well, so Larry, like when it comes to programming and coaching and training and like everything else and being a trainer, there you have like academically proper written workouts. And AI can do that. Very academically proper.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna want to do it. It's gonna be boring as hell. It's gonna work. It's gonna work.
When you say boring as hell, what do you mean?
It's 3 sets of 10, 5 sets of 5, blah, blah, blah. You move up. Week 1, we start at this percentage. Week 2, we're at this percentage. Like it's going to be, it's not intuitive. A really good programmer is really intuitive. Like on not only the people they're working for, how things are going to progress, what they see, what exercise pairing works really well, what exercise pairing doesn't, what's going to bother the lower back, what's going to use shoulders too much, bother knees, like all that.
Yeah.
It doesn't see that.
So as far as the AI, like how did you go about learning the prompts and everything you need to do? Like, because I'll be honest with you, I'm a techie, right? Knowing that you went in and uploaded last 2 years worth of programming, that's pretty intuitive of you and your team to do that, because that's not something that, I'll be honest with you, the layman person would know, right? Like even if you're a techie, you own a tech company, you're going to upload your code into it. And you're going to do that because you may need it to help you write more code. And so in order for it to know what the heck you're doing, you're going to upload all your data. So what made you upload your content up there?
Didn't Joel Jameson do that?
Yeah, well, Joel Jameson has some books in online, so it already had that set in. So I knew that we didn't have a ton that was out there for it to grab from. So I wanted to go ahead and feed it a lot so that it knew like not our methods, but our principles that we use. And then like our trains of thought of like how and what we think when we're doing it. And for it to see a pattern of like how we program. I kind of knew that in the beginning because what I was seeing with it, it was given when I was going back and forth with it with the prompts, even I was using good prompts, your PhD in exercise science or whatever you have to do prompt. And it was coming back very academically, like correct, but very boring and not very intuitive.
If you followed a program on it, like if you had it build you a program, let's say we wanted to work on a certain phase and it built you that program, you'd probably see results from that program. But like Rob said, how involved is the client going to be? Are they going to want to keep coming in and doing the same thing over and over again? Because oftentimes that's what the program looks like. Whereas we can change the nuances of it and keep the client more involved and make it more interesting.
And that's the human element.
Yeah, that's the human element.
How do you keep somebody motivated?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like what exercises are you going to change? What are you going to keep the same? Or intuitive enough to go ahead and know that this is what I want to keep. This is what I'm going to change. This is what's not going to make it boring to individuals for a general audience.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's interesting. Because I'll be honest with you, like I never even thought about the human element of the motivation piece, right? And obviously you have a class. This gym is based on a class, right? Like half of it is based on class group, and then the other half is based on personal training and small group. Yeah, and so how do you keep them motivated, keep coming in?
Yeah, that's very individualized. The personal training is very individualized. Everything is written for their goal and the specifics that they need to a certain extent. The group is written for general, like the bell curve, like the majority of the people, that's what it's written for, like to kind of cover like 75% of people.
And I think that's where it's behind in both those places, is that with personals, it's so individualized that it's going to write you a program that is not going to be ready for that individual. And then also in the group classes, like if you, especially with conditioning, you have to run group classes a certain way. You can only run 7 or 8 people through something. And it gives you a conditioning program where that'd work great for one person because maybe you're repeating a certain, like maybe you're repeating a bike over and over again, but then it's like, all right, we have a group of 21. We got to cycle them through this workout. So we need them separated so where they can all get through the workout and they're not going to get bunched up in one spot. I think it was behind there too.
Yeah. And what I really like using it for too is like it's referencing. So, hey, is this the style? And I like put a specific style. Does this meet the criteria? It's like, yes, you're in it. And it'll give you a couple of suggestions of like what could make it better, what not. Works really well with conditioning and like cardiovascular methods, because a lot of methods use like a lot of intervals. Like for instance, there's something called aerobic power intervals, and it's a certain amount of time. Like a lot of intervals or the time you're doing them to the time of rest periods. And then that all, it changes. You either shrink the time you're doing it, so you make it more intense, and you raise the rest time, or you shrink the rest time and you lengthen the interval. Like you kind of just move that around. But like you ask it like, hey, is this meet the criteria of this specific interval. Yes. Or it does, but this would make it even closer to it. And then I ask, like, hey, give me a couple of different ideas.
So it's a good validation tool too.
Yep. Great
That's a good
validation.
point.
That's actually what I use it the most, is a validation of like, okay, I'm right on spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. I just, and to the person that's anti-AI, what would you say to them?
Well, okay, so I took an AI course on the last like strength conditioning forum that we were at, like the seminars and stuff. And the way he put it, and I 100% believe it. Once I started using it, I use it a lot. And it's that you can either use it and get used to it and you help it, like it's helping me, or you can not use it and go up against someone that's using it. Now, what it does, it picks everybody up one level. So it takes an individual that has some experience and it brings them up another level, and it gives them like pretty good academic and like understanding. It takes a really good programmer and coach and it brings them up one more level. And it takes an expert programmer and it brings, you're done, like you're gone.
Yeah. And that makes sense. It's very much like the
You
techie
got
world.
all the references you ever need right in front
Right
of
in front of you. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to spot check it, right? Because it
Correct.
can't be wrong.
It
Right.
can be wrong. It can be wrong. It can be wrong, but when you reference this against like a book or a method that's already out there, it's going to spit back that exact. So it's not going to be wrong on that.
So it'll be academically correct.
Correct.
A lot of the time.
Yes.
Yeah. And I guess I'm saying that
Not
because
intuitive.
It's not intuitive yet, right?
Yeah.
But also I do feel very strongly that it's just like every other industry. If you are not embracing the AI piece, and you are, right, but the other person isn't, the other person that isn't using it is going to get left behind.
They're going to fall
eventually.
behind.
Oh, 100%.
It's
because,
a good tool you have to be able to utilize.
Yeah. It's going to get rid of the half-ass programmers that are just kind of like throwing stuff out there and selling like just templates and stuff. And it'll get rid of like some of the trainers that are just not, they're just not there.
We've always been a fan of leaning into anything new that comes out. Like you get a lot of trainers who get kind of scared of it. Oh, it's going to take away my job. And I'm sure it's like any other industry. You got peptides that come out that make people lose weight. You got some peptides that are coming out that we see it's going to improve how much easy it is to build muscle. And then trainers are like, oh, well, let's just make it seem like those are really bad for you and don't use those. But no, we can work with those. And it's the very same with AI. Like we can work with AI. It's not going to take the job away. We know how far behind it is right now.
It's going to enhance us.
It's going to enhance us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And make it better. And you can be very clear in communicating that with your clients and with your members is like, we use these as tools and it's making us better. Like, and a lot of people appreciate that kind of clear communication with them.
Why the hell would you stay away from a peptide that helps you gain muscle? Because if anything, I come in for a month and all of a sudden like, Rob, Zach, like I am jacked, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like I see the difference in a month.
Makes you better.
It makes you better. And honestly, it just enhances.
Well, everything's tools. You got to learn how to use those tools.
Yep.
I love it. Once I started really understanding, getting really deep into it, I'm like, oh, I'm gone. I mean, I use it every day for referencing back and forth with it.
Yeah.
But like I said, I have asked it to progress tons of training phases for me and workouts, and I've never once used it. But I've used ideas that it's given me.
Yeah.
Sure. And that makes sense. Yeah, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
For programming or anything else.
Yep.
Now, the other question I have before we wrap up is, you may be partial to a certain AI platform.
Yes.
Do you spot check it against other AI platforms?
Yeah. So chat compared to Gronk, one's a little more cynical basically and is not going to build you up as much. But the problem is I really worked with chat a lot. And so it's so far in depth with us. I'd have to do the same thing with Gronk.
Right.
And the little bit I use Gronk, it's supposed to be really good, but it was so far behind. I was like, I just kept on going back to chat.
Yeah.
And I probably should like move into it a little deeper, but then like, because I'm going to pay for the professional.
Right.
Because I'm going to use it nonstop and I want to be able to put in research and I want to download all the stuff. And
there's also
2 bills going on at the same time.
There's also Gemini.
Yeah, I haven't touched that.
Okay.
Or besides using it on the phone.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. That one, it's okay, but
yeah,
chat seems to be the best right now.
Well, once you feed it a lot, like how much you work, the
Right.
more you work with it, the better it is. Because
Right.
in the beginning, it was not like even the newest version, you got to feed it a lot. But if you're willing to put the time in and you feed it, and you want it to like understand your personality, give it as much information from you as it can, or your coaches, and understand like what's your principles and your values. Then,
okay, yeah, I like it.
So I think the biggest takeaway is if you're a coach, let's say you're a beginner coach, you need to continue to gain experience and gain knowledge in other ways. You don't want to become reliant on that. If you're an expert coach, you don't want to stay away from using it because it's a tool that you can use, but you should understand it needs to be changed quite often. And if you're a client, then you're just typing in prompts for it to write you up a strength workout or a conditioning workout. You're still going to need to be cross-referencing that with a coach or you know, if you have access to other forms of programming, be cross-referencing it with other things. It's not going to be the main tool, but I think everybody should be using it. It's just knowing how to use it.
100%.
100%. It's like everything else, right?
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everybody.
It's been Strong Principles.